Hi beautifuls, welcome to YILDIZ Readings 5D. For those of you that don't know, I'm a psychic medium. I cover astrology and everything else I cover is above on the screen. Now, we don't like long intros, so my contacts are directly below, and how to book, what, where, why, how has been all left to the end. Those of you who have clicked the link, I do automate posts to keep you in the loop as when I'm coming live and where I'm going to be. So without further ado, let's get into the update and the real reason you're here. Enjoy. Grab a cuppa, sit back and relax. Love to hear your feedback. Hi Cancer, welcome back. We're here to do your romance read. Now, already the messages are coming through for your reading. And I had to pull a clarifier, and I knew what this was about, but to be away from the ego, we'd be pulling clarifiers. And I do feel you've moved through a portal of really reflecting. Now, I feel a major decision has been made. And I do feel this relates to romance. And I will link it into, for some of you, this can be a third-party situation that Cancer had been meditating about. And I do feel this reflection that's coming through for you guys. It's almost like this closure. Over the last few weeks, we really, through astrology, had spiritually, and I always love the way transits happen for spiritual guides. We tend to go through these energies ahead of time, and then we kind of culminate it, understand it, you know, digest it and regurgitate it. And it sounds dreadful, but it's the way it goes in the spiritual community. So I feel the reflection of what you've been through in a portal sense. There might have been a time when you felt a little bit distorted, felt a little bit like when you were looking at love, you know, what we needed to be, what we wished we could have been, what we wish we'd never done, you know, really going through all of that frequency. It's given you a lot of time. You know, some of these things really were a great mystery to you. It was like, you know, when we know better, we do better. And some of these things were not in your eye. Some of these things also occurred in your surroundings, and it may have been relating to love. And sometimes how we can hold people back because we're being protective. And I'm noticing the green. I'm noticing the blue. The blue really through Mercury is for your zodiac sign. It's like you're directly reflecting, but you've got a lot of blue and purple coming through in your cards. This reflection, I think, is helping you move through this transformation a lot quicker. I think that, you know, we have the notion of distance makes the heart grow fonder. I do feel you might be up in your mind without the full knowing of what is going on, and that might have caused some turmoil mentally. You're having faith, and I do feel you're releasing something. But as you were going through the reflection, I do feel you had a few revelations, and I feel it's almost like, you know, you're facing the truth and you're facing the delusions, but you actually, it was almost like being at a T section in the road and having to physically choose a path left or right. I'm seeing that, you know, you had to own your power, okay? So where you're at and where you're going, you had to make a decision. So even though, to me, the way this energy is playing out in your cards at the moment, which I'm going to pull more, it's showing that where you were previously there was guilt relating to choices that were made. And I feel now you just look like, you know, really it was a T-section on the road, a decision had to be made. I feel you had to pick the most rational decision. Yes, there's regret towards words, thoughts, actions, as we all do from a humanistic experience. But, you know, something wasn't working and you didn't want to play anymore. It was like, look, this isn't fun. So you had to make a decision based on that, and that was where it was back then. I do feel this is coming back again to be really re-looked at, and it can be two things. A, you are coming to terms with things. B, I'm also feeling this can be people from the past coming back. Now, I don't feel you're going to give your power away, Cancer. I feel you're really looking at it like, look, it's all permission-based. You may come back to me. You may come and discuss things with me. I will assess the information of the past. And yes, more than likely. And it's funny because I feel this is more a negative energy that you dealt with over a romantic love interest. It's the shadow phase. It's the past that was taking you backwards. It can be a current situation. For a current situational ship, I don't think it's going to bode too well. But that's more for, and what do I mean by that? By no means am I meaning that a, you know, relationship is going to fall down if it's flowing fantastically. Yeah, conflict can come up. I'm feeling this is more to do with healthy boundaries, and Cancer is not putting up with rubbish. They're not anymore allowing mind games and manipulation. I feel, Cancer, you guys, what was a mystery to you before, you've been there, done that, and it's something that just simply won't work. You're really in your empowerment at the moment. You're making healthy choices. And you don't care what anyone thinks of you. You're like, look, I am who I am. If you don't like it, lump it. So, again, plenty. You've worked hard for what you've got. You're not giving a cent. You're not giving an inch. It's like, if you're not working with me, I'm not working with you. It's so matter of fact. It does feel that Cancer has had enough time to actually tune into what's going to work for them. And I do feel this is relating to people that have really blocked Cancer's path. That is one message coming through very, very firmly. So if this is a third party energy, I don't feel Cancer is taking it at the moment. And I feel this is more on your side, Cancer. Perfectly honest. I do feel both of you and your romantic interest are mirroring each other. But there is either a current situation or this is directly a previous situation. I feel it's a bit of a mix of both, where you've had enough time to reflect and now it's like, look, okay, judgment. You thought about this for a while. You might have been on the fence, and I feel where you're at, you're not giving your power away. Your outcome card, it's almost like when I pull cards, this is this throat chakra. My guides work in very unique ways. When I pulled the cards, I could see your energy. I could see, I was like, this is a past. This is a past tense situation. Which I will pull cards for relating to it. They've already jumped out. And I also saw a romantic interest. And I feel whatever was holding you back spiritually, you've had enough time to be in the emotions and you're like, no. My name is no. My number is no. You got to let it go. Okay, you got the moon card. Like I said, you've had enough time to reflect upon your emotions. We are having a full moon in Pisces. I believe it's on the 20th. This, in a pattern sense, can feel like a spiritual test, but because it's very Neptune aspected, and it's the 12th house, it's the house of imprisonment, we can mentally be in our minds and go over old vices. And this reflection, I mean, if something's going to resonate with you, it'll continue. I'll just be perfectly clear. But if somebody is coming to mess with you and it's toxic and it's lower frequency, with Mars and Libra, it's just not going to work. You know, especially if you've seen patterns and you've reflected enough upon it. Mercury, actions and words mean a lot. They do count. You, in your intuition, you're governed by the moon. I'm noticing the feminine energy on the card and the lizard, and you know it's the transformation. Why am I hearing chameleon? It's like, you know, sometimes we say something's going to change, but you know, has it? So I feel this is the logic you're coming to the table with. Unless it's changed, it's no. You did at a point feel that parties around you that had been dealing with you maybe thought by you retracting back and retreating it was temporary. Maybe because that used to be a pattern, but it's actually a broken pattern. It's not, you're not doing that anymore. It's like when you've decided, you've decided. Cancerians are very understanding, very giving. But there is, with any zodiac sign, there's a point of no return. And I feel, although there may be a direct connection, you're pretty much coming to it with your emotions there. You're like, look, for my well-being, for my safety, you know, you've closed the door. You're reflecting upon it, but you're still coming up with the same resolve and answer. Yeah, it's like you felt you had to actually isolate yourself away from groups. But I do feel, you know, you had maybe been up in your head over the last few weeks over such, but you've had to, you know, be, you know, you've had good things since then. Maybe back then it was very beautiful and lovely, but it might have affected the alignment of connections, you know. So this might have been causing conflict in a connection. And so you're reflecting back and you're seeing something. You're actually seeing all parties kind of, what would the word be? Position points. Chess pieces on the board. That's how you're looking at it. You're like, okay. And then you're bringing it back and you're looking at where you stand in that position. And I feel, you know, some of that power was taken away from you. And it was overwhelming. There was a lot of domination. There was a lot of push-pull. Yeah, there was too much competition. There was too much challenges. It was almost like you were getting backed into a corner. So, like I said, the T-section on the road, right? Sometimes if you push and you force, if I huff and I puff, it's gonna fall down, right? So it fell down. The tower fell. This might be relating to a family. We've got the Empress. But I also feel, you know, you guys directly are like the family-orientated energy. So your intent was to bring everything together. Be it your side of the fence, their side of the fence, you know, friends, barbecues. It was like the dream was there. But I do feel that there was an individual that, I always get a funny feeling with this card. You know, you learned more as you went, but it almost feels that, yeah, it's like the devil in the detail, really having to look at the devil in the detail. And it's almost like this can be relating to children. It might be a family. You know, trying to have the give and take there to create stability. But again, I'm seeing this door on this card, and it's almost like a peeping Tom. The privacy. I feel Cancer as though, you know, if there was an external influence on this direct romantic connection, because I do feel you're seeing your romantic interest, your love interest. I'm saying that your intent is you want to make peace with them. But I do feel at a point you're at peace with what you're going to choose, what this choice is. Yes, there might be fear of the conversation that's coming up. That can be on either side of the fence, really. Imagine the unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. So it's like you've reflected. You're trying to make peace in the past. A decision was made. You know, maybe this can be merging families or something to that degree. But whatever this external influence is, it is feeling extremely heavy. It does feel that there was interferences, and I do feel it was third-party energy. We are going to have a look at the third-party energy in the extension. I do feel you've gone through a great deal of reflection. It was almost like anything that was good constantly got messed up, and it was like you were trying to really hunt for a solution to the problem, but you weren't the problem. And you were like, okay, if I'm not the problem, what's the solution? The solution, I remember a guide saying to me once, you know, because even we need guides, right? You need to accept what it is. And I was like, but it doesn't look pretty. Why would I accept it? I still laugh at myself now. And it was accepting what stories are. And sometimes psychologically, you know, we just had the new moon in Virgo. We're trying to make sense of it. We're trying to create that perfect story. But in life, there's no perfect. So it was having to physically just acknowledge what something was at that point in time. And then by releasing it, you accept who those individuals are. You look at the story and you go, well, does the story match? Is this going to work? And ultimately, you reach this perspective. I do feel it wasn't about the love interest, okay? However this is landing, it's either the freedom from this situation was both parties being able to be themselves without interferences, you know, without dramas. And I feel that Cancer, both parties have visited this. Both parties visited, you know, we're changing and we're transforming, but it does appear to be nobody else around us wants to. So I do feel a line in the sand was drawn. Do come through and have a look at the extension. We'll dig deeper into this third party energy and see where it's at. This could be a very old situation, or it might be something new that's coming through, especially with Mercury retrograde. But we will go further into your romantic interest, but I am feeling a very positive energy. Love and light. Otherwise, I'll see you for the twin flame updates. Thanks for joining YILDIZ readings. If you do need to find the link for the Members Hub, it is directly below in the information box, or you can see above on the screen, it's on the main page. Now we have 3 tier levels, as well as on Fridays, we are live on the main platform. By clicking the bell, I automate posts for both the members and the main page, plus any additional information I feel you need. The website is been updated and we do have a lot more content on it, as well as new products coming in 2022. If you do want to join webinars, we have the list, as well as the launch of the Age of Aquarius with a VIP list. For all my other media content, follow me live on the links below. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, we all have it covered, and we have more content coming. See you during the week.